Hello everybody, this is Burgback coming to you with another Starcraft 2 commentary, and in this matchup we will be having a rematch of some sorts between KarsidZenith here. I'll just be calling him Karsid from here on out, spawning as the blue Protoss, going against Fruit Seller, Fruit Vendor, OGS Cool, just really much just plain old Cool now since he left OGS. Spawning as the Red Zerg, and spawning in the same spots as they did the first game, which is pretty unique, and just a kind of like a rematch between the two. Of course, Cool winning the first game, just showing his power as a Zerg player against Karsid. And of course, I didn't see a whole lot, as I said in the game before. I've never seen really any games from Karsid. I've seen a lot of games from Cool, so I know how strong of a Zerg player he is. And if you've watched my videos, you've been able to see that as well, just through his build order. Very strong, Zergling-minded, very hive-minded player, using a lot of Zerglings early on, and showing a lot of aggression with the various aspects of the Zerg race. And pretty much looks like the same build order here for Karsid, going with the initial pylon right here up at the top, and then going with the gateway right at the gate as well, right at the ramp rather. Going for that assimilator, same build order. Looks like they're just kind of going the same here as we go on. Going for that fast expand for Cool, and not seeing a spawning pool yet from Cool. Of course, he doesn't even have that 14 pool out yet, but it looks like, yeah, building up that spawning pool now as we move ahead here. Of course, Karsid going up, starting to scout out and see what's going on, and Cool just bringing his Overlord down as slow as possible in the beginning here. Of course, not a whole lot can be gathered right away. We do have that Cybernetic score going down in the exact same spot as game number 1. So it looks like Karsid just going for that same build that he had. Of course, bringing out that Zealot, just going to close off that ramp completely. And Karsid just getting his view in here of what's going on inside of the main base of Cool, seeing that spawning pool, seeing that extractor. Of course, he saw that fast expansion. And it looks like Cool's drone just kind of dancing back and forth in the front of this ramp, just kind of waiting for anything to happen, as it looks like Cool's Overlord getting a little bit farther in this time around, able to come in and scout what's in the front here, seeing exactly the same build that he saw in the first matchup. So he kind of has an idea of what's in store for him again this game. We have 2 queens coming out now for Cool, 1 on each hatchery, as we start up here. And we do have some Zerglings already out onto the field, starting to do a little bit of scouting, I would imagine, as we do have a Zealot starting to come up here as well with a Stalker, going to try and take out that Overlord as fast as he can. Of course, the view here, able to see this high ground. Did lose that now as he was getting off that tower, and 2 Zerglings just going to get hit a little bit here, trying to take out that other one before it gets to the ramp. Of course, another Stalker down here, able to stop that from happening, as a Sentry now coming out as well, going to probably close off this gate. And we do have some, that's weird, some Overlords coming out here, just kind of being pinged there. I'm not sure why they were pinged in that area, but they were pinged. Brought my attention up to them, as we do have some metabolic boost coming up for Cool now as this game progresses. Of course, that metabolic boost very vital for a Zergling-based matchup. And it looks like Karsid coming into this fast expansion here, going to try and take out that Queen. Looks like that Queen is going to get down, taken down. Yeah, there it goes. And not going after those drones, which is kind of amazing. Just backing up now. They figured their deed was done. Going for this tower, just seeing if anything's going on here. I don't know why he decided to run back. He could have got a few more. Oh, well, this might be why. He does have some Zerglings going down now from the north, going in towards Karsid's area. Again, going for that fast expansion, doing a really good job of the wall off here. Pretty much the same, I mean, it is the same build as he had the match before. Putting that photon cannon there, gating off with those 2 gateways. Again, that Nexus, going to have a long walk around to try and get inside Karsid's main base. Very good play. Of course, these these Zerglings going to have a hard time getting around there, especially with this photon cannon here, these sentries able to block off any kind of push, and it looks like Cool knows that, realizes that, and says, you know what, I'm just going to pull back, I'm going to expand, I'm going to macro up, I'm going to try and do what I do to beat you. And again, if anybody can translate what's going on in the text chat, I would appreciate it. I'm sure all the viewers watching right now would appreciate that as well. As again, Cool going for that expansion first, and going to start building up there as we go early on, and going for those Evo chambers early on as well. Of course, the upgrades are very vital. Just to get a leg up on the competition here as we're going on, and of course this forge pushing out the weapon as well, weapon upgrade as well, and more gateways coming down. We have 3 more gateways coming down for Karsid. He's going to try a heavy ground army early on here to try and push in. Of course, pretty much the same that we saw the last game, except we don't have a robo facility coming out from him. Looks like he's just planning that with another gateway. As these Zerglings start coming down from the north, going to try and bring on some more aggression. Of course, more wall off here, as we do have the Karsid's units trying to come out from the back area here. And Zerglings just trying to find some kind of way in. Of course, there's no way in for those Zerglings, minus trying to take down this pylon. But they'd be shortcoming trying to do that, of course. Look at this nice small choke right here with that pylon, very nicely placed. As it looks like we are starting to do some aggression, starting to push up, bringing a pylon up by this tower. As oh, it looks like it's going to get surrounded by those Zerglings and get taken out before that pylon even has a chance to be morphed in. Again, this hatchery is up and just starting to produce a queen, so we are going to have a lot of units starting to come out of here. And looks like some spine crawlers being up to build up for some defense as we go on here. Very good move by there by Cool. As it looks like just trying to spread Karsid out here, as we are bringing up a pylon. Going to try and bring those forces a little bit more forward, able to bring those units closer to some kind of damage. And again, that hallucination, bringing in some units here. Trying to take out that pylon, not going to be happening as those Zerglings getting pushed back. And just going to be able to fortify this little area, as it looks like Karsid getting a nice intel here from this Phoenix. And it looks just playing back and forth, cat and mouse game here. And again, nice use of the pylons back here, trying to close that back door, as it looks like Karsid coming in. But we have a lot of roaches here. Two force fields, of course, burrow on all of those, trying to take out these spine crawlers. It looks like they will be taking out the spine crawlers, but this burrow here really good, bringing up that regenerative health and just popping them up and down, trying to do something with them, as bringing in these force fields, trying to just slow them down a little bit. Not doing a really good job there with those force fields, as just splitting off the units. Zealot's doing a good job taking down all those drones, but Karsid just not doing well here, as these roaches look like they have the upper hand against these stalkers. Stalkers just running for it, trying to get out of there. Nice placement of pylons here, but just doesn't look like it's going to work as we're moving on here. And even a queen just coming out, trying to do something. As looks like not a whole lot going on here now that we're pushing back, as Karsid just forced to push back and lick his wounds. It looks like bringing in 2 robo facilities. I wouldn't be surprised with 2 robo facilities. Looks like he's probably going to be going for some immortals to try and mitigate the damage from those roaches, but it looks like he might be a little too late here, as these roaches are starting to come down. These I don't think these immortals are going to be out in time to help defend. Trying to bring in as many stalkers as he can here, just to try and get some damage here and hide behind these gateways. Oh no, going for an observer. There's one immortal. So just bringing out an observer and an immortal. Probably going to be pumping out immortals as we go on here. I don't see anything besides that coming out of these robotics facilities. And it just looks like the map control is in favor of Cool right now, as it looks like bringing in a Roach here just to slow down any kind of progress that would come in, just to kill a probe if it would come down here to build a Nexus, of course, and also not being able to build anything there. As it looks like bringing this Observer out, just going to start looking, searching for anything that may be out there. Of course, going the opposite way of what the units are, as the Roaches are starting to come down from the north to the south, and it looks like he might be getting ready to push, just kind of scouting out here, seeing if anything is in the vicinity. Of course, there's nothing here, and Karsid just getting a nice view of this expansion. Nothing here. Looks like an Overseer Cocoon coming up, though. We'll start spotting that Observer as we go on. Is going in the general vicinity of that Observer, as the Observer is starting to go down to the south. And it looks like this Overseer is going to stop and just wait for these Hydras to come in. Of course, Hydralisk Den did come up, as we saw in the background there. And just looks like both of them kind of waiting it out, waiting to see who's going to pounce first here, because that could basically decide, as we are at the 115 to 157. Of course, it looks like Cool is a little bit higher in the numbers here by a good margin. As we start moving forward, a hatchery coming down could have a good chance of taking that out with these Stalkers. Yeah, going to take that hatchery out, as it looks like we are going to be seeing Cool come in with his Zerglings, trying to get some surround on some of these units. Of course, getting surrounded on that Immortal. Immortal just taking a lot of damage from the Zerglings, as Zerglings just pulling back, and again, force fields coming down, trying to block off as many units. Of course, those Hydras, trying to block those Hydras. Some chinks in the armor here. Of course, these Roaches being stuck here. Roach is getting up here, though, and it looks like taking out a good bunch of those Stalkers, as we do have some Zealots morphing in as well. And just forcing back, trying to build some photon cannons here on the midfield, trying to see if Cool will come around that way. Of course, it looks like he's coming around the left side of the field, going to be coming in, going to try and, yeah, he's taking out that pylon, going to be taking out those Zealots, and it looks like Karsid is going to have to be on his toes here, as Cool coming in and just annihilating Karsid's units. Of course, these Immortals taking a lot of damage here. Even with that hardened shell, just taking a lot of damage. We do have more Hydras coming in from the other side, taking out all those cannons that were being morphed in. The GG from Karsid, so it looks like Cool winning the second game out of this this rematch anyway, and just doing a great job of showing the might of the Zerg against the Terran player, or against the Protoss player, I'm sorry. So really great matchup, really nice rematch. Karsid showing a little bit more power this game compared to the last game, and just kind of getting Cool a little off kilter there in the beginning, but Cool able to keep his cool and expand again, and just keep the same plan that he had going, and just keep going on with that. So please let me know if you know, you have certain Korean players, American, European players you want to follow, and if you want me to cast their games, just leave that down in the comments below. Please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.